Welcome to the Lord's Brewing Co YouTube channel, and today something different. We're at Creative Juices, all the way down in a beautiful place called London. I mean,
almost.
Yeah, to me, everything south of Watford Gap is London. So and we're doing something that I don't know anybody else that's done this before. There's probably a reason for it, but we're doing a beer exchange, and we're going to try each other's beers, because I don't really review beers because I can't, but it's not cool, is it, reviewing somebody else's beer on a YouTube channel? So as a brewery,
your own.
it's a bit like, oh, this one's terrible, but ours, no, you can't really do that. So we're gonna. I think we'll try yours first, definitely.
Yes. Yeah.
So what have we got here?
So what you have there is our called Colours, which is our milk stout. So
Look at that can.
That's a beautiful can.
so we got our artist, one of our artists, to do that. So we essentially wanted to do a nice sort of deep roasty stout, but also wanted to do something a bit different with it. The whole idea of Creative Juices is we take traditional styles and try and think of how we can maybe add a little something to it.
Yeah.
So what we did here was a little nod to sticky toffee pudding.
Ah.
So you have your usual sort of specialty malts in there. So we've got some nice chocolatey malt in there, some nice dark roasty malts. So you get that sort of deep roasty coffee and sort of dark chocolate flavour.
Yeah.
But then we also added a little bit extra. So you've got some dates in there, you've got some vanilla in there, you've got some black treacle in there. So you get kind of like a layered effect.
Right.
That makes sense? Yeah. So you get that roastiness, but you also get there's like a subtle sweetness. It's not sort of sickly sweet, because we didn't want to go overboard and have it too much like just eating ice cream.
Yeah.
But so that's where we are, and it's got a nice sort of smooth mouthfeel, nice creaminess to it.
Yeah. So this
I love the head of
disclaimer,
it.
I've had this before, and I really like it, which is why I asked Ben for one. I said, "Can I have colours, please?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh." So I love this style. I think it's an absolute worker.
Right.
So this is first for you.
Okay.
So you got to get stuck in.
Smells amazing. It's got
It's a bit different. It's a bit different, I think. That's kind of what I hope many of our beers are a little different.
I can smell the dates and the vanilla for sure. It's got that malty, dark malts is just like it's jumping out of the
A bit
glass.
of licorice on the nose.
Yeah, licorice.
It
Yeah.
smells sweeter on the nose, but it smells sweeter from the cake version rather than the can version. It
Yeah.
actually smells slightly sweeter.
And the head has got this lovely
That's not going anywhere.
coffee
is it?
colour. No,
Yeah, that's
I'm
tan.
going to go
I've been
for it.
stuck in. Oh yeah. It's roasty, it's fruity, it's creamy, and it lingers.
It's a bit different, and
It's a belt up, Ben.
wow.
It is good.
There's so many layers in this.
Told you.
That's a really complex beer.
Well, I think it's probably, of all of the ones we do at the moment, that's probably our most complex, is a good word.
Yeah.
For the sort of style, for sure.
But balanced.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes you can have a complex beer and the elements of it can get really, really strong. For me, a good beer is all about balance, and you've got that with this beer. It is fruity,
But the
it is
aftertaste.
roasty, it's right.
It's so rich. It's got like a really. I like bitter beers. I just like a bitter finish to my beer.
I am the same.
It's got a really nice bitter, but not overpowering. I can taste those dates. Now that you said dates, that's what I'm getting a lot of.
I like to know that I've had a beer. So when
Yeah.
When I've finished it, I like to be able to go. I can
Absolutely.
taste it. I've drunk something.
The roasted malt's it's just that it's
Yeah.
really good.
Just bang on.
This is what I would call. I go back to what we call a fender ale,
Right.
which is where you sit by the fire.
Yeah.
And it's got a roaring fire and it's snowing outside and it's cold and you've got your blanket and you sat there and I've got this awful red wingback chair
Right.
falling apart that I love.
Love those.
Yeah, I'm just and I sit in that and this would be perfect.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to take some of these.
Hang on, what's Fender got to do with it?
Well, a fender we call it the fireside fender.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of like a
Guitar, isn't it?
You're sat by the fire, getting guitar.
Yeah, and he no, but the fender, the fire fender, it's behind the side of the fire. So yeah, the Americans watching it be like, why is he talking about bumpers? Or I'm completely baffled.
I like what you said about you want a beer to taste like a beer, it's got to have a finish to it. Because the first time I came here, I had the Slinky Vagabond, which is the West Coast.
Yeah,
and that's the first thing I thought. I was just like, oh, the finish on it, you know.
Look at the lacing on that.
This is done the same.
Yeah, I think there's probably an element of that to most of the stuff I brew. So I'm a bit guilty of kind of brewing what I'd like to
So
drink.
are you like in charge of that? There's no one else that.
No, it's just me. It's
all you.
You are the Grand Fromage.
Yes, the Grand Fromage stroke tea boy.
Yeah.
Everything in between.
Yeah. Right, okay, I'm going to try. Now, this is called the Bandon Car.
Nice.
It's an Irish porter. I don't know how Paul stored this, so I'm hoping that when I open it, it doesn't explode.
Shouldn't do.
Although that would be good for
it would be a good video. It's based on a song, and it's about a man who likes his porter.
Right.
And he gets nicked by the Bandon Car, which is the Irish police.
Yeah.
We've got the right year cortina to go with the song.
Yeah.
That's I'm a proper petrol head.
Nice. Okay, cool.
We had an Irish band sing that to us, didn't we?
We did.
In Huddersfield a few months back, which was hilarious.
So there you go, that's yours, if you want to give it a pour.
Let's do it.
So we've gone, there's nothing in this other than a traditional porter recipe and style. We've not done anything fancy with it. These are nucleated glasses, aren't they?
They are, yes.
It
might be a bit lively.
Yeah, it doesn't normally pour like that. So
we'll give it a minute to calm down.
In the bottom of the glass, I don't think everybody knows this, but you have etching in the bottom of the glass. So they call that nucleation, don't they?
Yes.
And if you've got a beer, look at that. That is outrageously bad.
That's probably down to
let's
me.
try this now. I might have
calm down.
Calm down if I try it.
It's been jiggled around and all sorts, but sometimes the nucleation will just let all the gas out.
I've recently moved house and it's been in boxes and it's gone into a garage, so it's it might be a bit lively.
It's coming out a little bit.
I'm glad I'm not drinking this, because after this you won't be able to taste that. So it's
give it a minute.
There are two glasses of foam. This is typical Lord's Brewing Co. You know, if you're coming here for high class beer stuff, this is your worst case scenario is handing a beer to another brewer and then it turning into a foamy ice cream. But you know, that's how we roll on the Lord's Brewing Co channel.
It'll get there, don't worry.
Yeah.
Calm down.
They'll
get a bit excited, don't they? For sure.
Yeah. Give it a go. See if you can get to it.
Let's get in there.
Give it a try.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's have a look. Oh yeah, it's nice that. Yeah, nice roastiness to that. I can get underneath and
You got through the phone.
yeah, it's nice. It's really nice. Nice smooth.
It's just
Real nice smoothness to it, yeah.
I think we got an Untapped review that said, it's not Guinness.
In a good way or a bad way?
I don't know, but it's not. They were right. It's not Guinness. It's not a Guinness at all. It's just a very traditional porter.
It's got more body than Guinness for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a really nice.
I mean, it's a considerable amount of body for a porter in general.
Yeah.
I think that one. It's closer to a stout. I think it's body-wise certainly.
I had one of these at home as well, and he didn't do this at all. But I think it's part of glass, and you can see all the
I think that's my fault. It's just I've had it for a little while. It's been moving around, so it's probably my fault. Really.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. So, it's come from Yorkshire, via all over the south.
Yeah.
And then has made its way to here.
To Rickmansworth.
Yeah. No, it's nice. Very nice. Yeah.
What do you reckon? Like porter-wise? would you, if you, let's say port was your style,
Yeah.
and you wanted,
That's
yeah,
That is
It's like
foam
foam everywhere.
Tash, isn't it?
Do you know what it feels? What strength is that? Because it feels like it's like nice, easy drinking.
Yeah,
I could quite happily sit there. And
it's
have
just
quite a
it's
few.
4.7.
That's not bad at all, is it, actually?
No, easy going.
Yeah, it really goes down really well, actually.
It's definitely not as complex as this. It's like night and day different.
Mm.
That could be a good base though. The Bandon Car's a good base for messing around and doing other stuff with.
Yeah, it's really solid. I'm enjoying it.
Well, we found a lot of people would call this a stout.
I think the lines are blurred. quite
Yeah.
a lot, aren't they? To be honest, I think you know, unless you're sort of properly into your beers, I think people wouldn't really be able to tell the difference. If you go, this is a stout, this is a porter.
Yeah, I would.
To me, that's definitely a stout.
Mm.
But then I had this. I would call this a porter. It's thinner than that by a long way. When you drink it, you can just tell. But I had another beer from I won't say where, and that was claiming it was a stout, and it was half as thin as that.
Right.
And I was like, it's not a stout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, traditionally, I find porters slightly lighter, slightly thinner than stouts generally.
Yeah.
But the first time I had this, I thought, blimey, it's almost.
It's still got a nice body to it. It's still,
Yeah. It's got to have a bit of something.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, that was nerve-wracking and crazy. We've got one more beer to try.
Let me grab another glass.
Yeah, we'll grab another glass. I'm gonna pause this right here. So right, okay. So we just popped back. We've got
Yes.
another glass. I pre-poured this one just in case.
And it's gone perfect. It's the perfect pour. Look at that.
So this is I don't know if you're aware of a guy called Real Ale Craft Beer.
Yes.
Simon has the biggest virtual pub in the world. He's probably the biggest. I would say he's probably the biggest beer reviewer in the world. And this was like a beer that we.
Stone Crow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
So I really love. Well, you like it as well. Like just it's the beer that got me into beer was Fuller's ESB. That was my starting point from moving away from Carling and other awful beers. But if that's your bag, that's your bag. I'm not judging you. When I spoke to Simon and said, hey, we'll do a collab, we've done a collab with Paul. Unfortunately, we haven't got. We
Should have bought that, yeah.
Yeah, should have brought that down.
You don't want?
Yeah,
we've got a
ginger golden ale. We called it Jasper, and it was lovely. It went really, really well.
Yeah.
So
So-
it went really well. I'll bring some over.
We'll get some to you. And basically, this was Simon's idea. Let's do an ESB and make it a community one. So it's got there's all little characters on here. So you've got like this guy is actually called Alan Mead. He's an Irish beer reviewer.
Right.
And he once said he was always drinking milk, isn't he? He
Yeah.
randomly has milk. So we nicknamed said that he had a cow. And he always says, get to the chopper. So he's got a chopper with a cow in it. We've got the Haunted Coachman. We've got Captain Meats. Joe Biden's dentures. They're all people, yeah. There's all sorts. And it's all over it, all over the can. So the only thing that we did that was a bit different is because we want this to go out on cask as well across the UK. We didn't go over 5%, which I think most ESBs are actually more like 5.5, 6. But we struggle to sell cask over 5 to pubs.
Yeah.
And especially wholesalers, so because we want to get the distribution right. But tell me what you think. Now it's going to be difficult after that one because that's very malty. And
It's calmed down nicely now. Look.
Yeah, it's ready to go now.
Yeah.
We'll have a swig on that
I'm
one.
going to have some more of
It's very
this.
nice.
Tell me what you think.
Come back to that one.
Go back
I'll have
to
that one after.
We've got to cleanse the palate.
Yeah. We do. I should have a little bowl of coffee, shouldn't I, to cleanse
Yeah.
our senses. But anyway. Oh yeah. It's a lovely colour. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but I got there now. You can see that's a lovely colour.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and it does look nice. It's the right
Cheers.
colour, that's for sure.
Cheers!
Cheers, Ben.
I'm really enjoying this.
It's destroyed. It's too good.
It's nice, yeah. Really good. It's got a nice it's got a nice sort of fruity floral sort of undertone in the air. It's nice. Nice and balanced as well. It's not It's not, we were saying about having a bitter finish. You get a bit of that for sure.
Yeah.
But it's not overpowering. It's a really nice balance.
Yeah. The key word again, balance.
Balance.
Yeah.
Well, this is so beautifully balanced.
Yeah.
That is nice. So what you're saying there about the strength, we've had the same experience.
Yeah.
At the moment, we haven't brewed anything that's stronger than 5.6.
Yeah.
But that we struggle with. The pubs kind of go, it's a bit strong.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, 5.6 isn't too.
Yeah. But I think on keg you can get away with a bit more.
Yeah.
But that's, it's horses for courses. The thing is, it depends on whether you're trying to sell volume or if you're just trying to do ultra craft and just stick to craft bars. But unfortunately, I don't know about what you think, but when you have staff and other people involved in your business, you need more turnover, you need to make more money. And so you've got to cater to those wholesalers. Because they give you the volume. So
well, we spoke about ESB. Fuller's, when they bottle ESB, it goes out at 5.9. But when you actually get it on cask, I'm sure it's only 5%, the cask version.
Right.
So they've obviously done the same thing. They've reduced the ABV for the pubs. But if you go into a supermarket and buy in a bottle, you get a much higher ABV.
Yeah.
So they've obviously thought the same thing. Pubs probably thought it was a bit strong,
well, we did a beer called Mount Helix, which was a West Coast pale, and that on cask is 5, and in can it's 6. So, which is a pain in the arse, doing 2 brews, but hey ho.
We haven't started down that route yet. But then, as I was saying earlier to you guys, it's we're just starting that trade conversation again now, really.
Yeah.
So what size is your system? It's definitely bigger than mine.
We got 2,000 litre runs we do out of that.
Okay, so you're 12 barrel. We're only 8, and we've got some 10s. But in retrospect, I did what you did and went for the biggest that I could possibly afford at the time.
Yeah.
And that we were comfortable with. But I think really going forwards, we're probably at some point, probably next year or the year after, if we can find the right premises, is looking at 30 barrel then.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
So
we're gonna go mad.
Wow.
So it's either going to work really well, where we'll be busy and we'll get rid of it, all the beer, and it'll all go, or they'll be brewing once a month and we'll have one beer.
I mean, you've really got to be sure, haven't you?
Well, this was kind of my theory for this as well when we started out, was if we go big on the brew side, you don't have to be brewing every day. It's not, we can brew once a week or once a month or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And with hindsight, that's actually not a bad thing, because the whole pandemic's just been an absolute nightmare trying to come up with any kind of regular schedule.
Yeah.
So our brew schedule is really ad hoc at the moment.
Yeah. I think it's just incredible that you're still here. You're still
Exactly.
But like you say, was it 4 months later? Get the pandemic kicked off, talk about
Really?
time.
Is that, you literally had 4 months?
Yeah,
and
4
then
months.
it's
And then I shut it down.
Wow.
And because largely I do it on my own, I had to shut it down.
Which is a hero.
Wow. But the respect level is going up and up and up. It's
Actually, you know what? And weirdly, now the team has grown quite a lot because of the pandemic. We had to change the way we operated the tap room. So we've got a team of 7 hosts now.
Wow.
So we've got our sales champion, Kate, running the show on the tap room side now. So we're actually kind of in a weird way growing because of the pandemic, which is kind of a bit backhanded.
We went the other way. So our location is so remote. It's really hard to get people to go up there. We haven't really got outside space. So we took, it was pure chance, but in the January over Christmas, I felt the year before, I thought we need a better online shop. And everybody was like, John, why are you wasting your time doing that? We do 30 quid a month online. I was like, yeah, but I just think we should do it. So I stuck to my guns, we built it, I built the website, got it all up, and it still did 30 quid a month. And then the pandemic hit and we were able to go online, and actually we've made more money than the tap room would have done.
Right.
And without the staff. So I haven't got the cost. Not that I wanted to lose my staff, but it just took the risk element away from us because we didn't have that outside. But terrifying. Still, I think it costs. I don't mind saying this because it's the reality of the brewery world. But I think that first year cost us about 105,000 in losses. and in the following, I think last year was about 70 grand. So if we didn't have really good investors, we wouldn't be here. But, you know, I think people don't realise the volume that you do. Like for us, we're very big with wholesalers. We sell a lot of cask beer. It goes out, and then all of a sudden that's gone. And yeah, we did all right online, but no one had heard of us. So it was a really scary time. And you know,
kind of the same for us. Only we don't have the wholesale side yet. So when we hit the lockdown, I was like, right, I had to build a website on my list of to-dos. I thought that's a good excuse to do it. So I took a couple of weeks just, let's say, did it myself, just made up.
Yeah.
Put it live, and we actually started doing online deliveries locally, where I just gather orders during the week and then literally come and load the car up on a Saturday and drive around and deliver it myself.
Good on you.
And that kept us sort of going through the lockdown until we could open up again.
Yeah.
But it's something, again, we need to push the online side for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And I say we now do national deliveries, but at the time we couldn't.
Yeah.
Whereas now we can. So I'm hoping.
You're loving it. I can see you like.
Crossed.
You're like, oh, this is good. You're excited. Are you excited for this year?
I am. It's daunting.
Yeah.
Because it's just so much uncertainty, and it's been like that for the last year and a half, 2 years now.
Yeah.
You know, but it really feels like we're at the brink of. Right, it's actually taken long.
Yeah, I agree.
The original business plan that we wrote how many years ago it was now,
which
is long out the window.
Yeah. Well, you had to diversify. Everybody had to try and do. You have to survive. You've got to diversify. So I think for me, I don't know about you, but we've got lots of elements to our business now. It's just finding where the money's at, and some stuff might have to go. You know, if we're like, well, that's not doing well now, we're might have to move that aside for something that does better. So we do a lot of lagers, or pilsners, and we've just developed a new lager.
I think I tried your pilsner.
Yeah.
Through London.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
it was really good.
Right. That's right. I drank so much I forgot what I drank now.
Yeah.
Through London, it was brilliant. Yeah.
It was good, wasn't it? But that's a 90-day.
Actually, I did, because we were going to buy some. We were going to buy some for the tap room, and then you sold it all. By the time we got there, we couldn't open it.
So we make it, and then it's gone. So we've developed a new lager. We'll still make the Pilsner. I've got another 3 tanks coming. And we're going to do the Pilsner, and that'll be every 3 months. And then we're making a lager, which is every 6 weeks.
Right.
But we did our first lager, and it's nearly all gone. So it's a great thing. We found something that we're good at.
I think lager and pilsner is an interesting one.
Yeah.
Because from a craft beer point of view, I think there is a degree of snobbery, and people kind of go, oh, lager.
Yeah.
But there's real sort of subtleties to that style to explore. And I think that you guys have nailed it for sure. And I'd love to do something like we've got a pilsner we want to brew. But I just don't have a chance to do it yet.
It's all about the storage.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, it's very difficult to hide anything in a pilsner or a lager because taste profile is so small.
Yeah.
So if you get a bit of diacetyl in it, you'll notice it. Where if you had a stout or something like that, or a porter, you had a little bit of diacetyl, you probably wouldn't notice it. But on a lager, it just sticks out like a sore thumb.
When you guys both started up, did you have like 1 or 2 beers that you were brewing to start off with? What beers did you start off with? What styles did you go for? I mean, I'm interested to see which style of beers you went with to start off.
Got you first.
Both, yeah.
Well, so my line of thought on that was try and get a decent breadth of styles that appeal to a different sort of customer set, if you like. So the ones we have are broadly what I wanted to start with. So we have American IPA, Pale, Best Bitter, Stout, Session Ale, and we did a wheat beer as well, which we...
Oh, I've got to try your Best Bitter.
That was,
I definitely want to try that.
That was the thought was there, that kind of ticks a few boxes.
Yeah.
If you think of volume of sales, if you're talking about from a commercial hat on, then a lager stroke pilsner is absolutely the way to go, because it still represents 65-70% of the lager. So it makes, and actually we get it here for every group of people who come in. There's always at least one who just kind of goes, actually, I just really want a lager, and they're not too fussed about what it is. They're just like, I just want a lager. Which is fair enough. But as I said, the styles. So I quite like, you said about the diacetyl. So I quite like a Czech pilsner. So there is that sort of element of diastole in there.
Yeah.
But it's just, I think you can do a good craft lager for sure.
Absolutely.
And I think more people are doing that. It was the same with the bitter. I was like, you go in any pub up and down the country and you see a bitter on tap.
Yeah.
Everywhere. But there's not many craft breweries that are really exploring that in a meaningful way. So I was like, straight away, that's definitely one we want to do as a craft bitter.
Yeah. Absolutely. So when we started, we did a British blonde. In fact, it was a pale ale, and we couldn't sell it because it said pale ale. We changed the name to blonde. It became our best-selling beer. But if we sold it in the south, we sold it as pale ale. If we sold it in the north, we sold it as blonde.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's interesting. Because I was going to say, it feels like anything with pale on it, it's kind of going, oh yeah, pale ale. But it was. We were a bit behind in the north. Well, certainly we're in Yorkshire. No offence to our Yorkshire viewers, but we were a bit behind, boys. As a blonde was something that people recognised. Well, I love blondes, and a British blonde is a style. It is essentially a pale ale, but it's a very easygoing. You could lager a British blonde, and it wouldn't be dissimilar to a lager. It's like a flat lager, basically. Yeah.
Then we did a bitter that was 3.9. And we did, what was the other one that we did? There was a third one, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was. It was quite boring. I can't remember what it was. And then we did the Bandon Car. But that is one of the beers. The Expedition Blonde, we still sell a load of it. And the Bandon Car, that porter, sells in the height of summer. We never ever end up holding on to it. It just constantly goes. We never have a problem selling it. So it's funny, isn't it? I think you've got to cater to your market, and
I'm always fascinated. When someone starts a brewery, they're like, okay, what is the beer that made you decide you wanted to brew beer? And then when you got into it, what's the first one you're going to do? Because I'm a big Sierra Nevada fan. And Ken Grossman, his story, and I'm like, he started off with the stout. So everyone associates Sierra Nevada with the pale ale.
Yeah.
Obviously, the first beer they ever brewed was the stout. And I'm thinking, God, of all the styles they could have chosen, he went hard. So I'm thinking, where did everyone else go? So you say you had a bitter, a blonde. You had pretty much everything you've got on your range now. So an American IPA, you've got your best bitter, you've got this cracking stout. So that's actually quite. You went full in. You did,
My logic was, if we can get a kind of core range. Selling at a fairly sort of consistent way, then beyond that we can do seasonal specials, regional specials, different styles, different flavours, and we can kind of have some fun with it.
Yeah.
We've always got those to a kind of consistent element to fall back on as well.
Yeah.
And then we've got a tap room which we're quite lucky to have, so we can sell limited edition small batch stuff.
Yeah.
Anything that sticks really well or goes down really well, we go, actually, okay, let's do a full run and
keep doing it. Yeah.
I've got to say, if you're in the area, you need to come here. You're supporting local brewery for a start, but it's a really good place to drink. Literally, where we sat, it's got a really interesting vibe. You've got all the stalls around us with sat pipe lights, candles. We've got nice lights. You can literally, this is all glass. You can see the tanks. It's a really lovely experience. I even like these are so cool.
There's even a story with those. The glass wall here, my thought, which you can't see, but the glass wall here is that you can see into the brew house. My thought was, if we're on a brew day, then people sat in the tap room can literally see us making the product.
Fantastic.
I love that when tap rooms do that. You can sit there, drink a beer, and watch it being done. I love that idea.
That's so cool. It's just fantastic. I love the vibe.
These are from a tree in my garden that fell down.
Brilliant.
It was a big, but we had the storms 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
A big branch fell down.
Yeah.
It's actually a giant redwood. Which randomly we have one in the garden.
Wow.
So we, as I was sawing it down to put it in the recycling, you get that sort of lovely woody smell.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really should. It's such a. And it was sort of it's dulled a bit now, but it was a sort of vibrant red colour. And I thought, you know what, we should probably do something with this. And then I thought, hang on.
That was one of the first things I noticed when I bought
It's so cool. I just really like it.
I'm a gardener, so I see stuff like that. I'm like, yes.
You love
someone's
it.
been creative.
Trying to be sustainable and all that.
Yeah,
That's
that's brilliant.
very small nod to it, but still.
It's a great touch.
And do you know what people do? People always coming and going, buy the Coke.
Yeah.
They're one of them. I bet some of these nicknames.
Oh yeah, we have
guarantee.
We
We have
have limited
glasses.
amount of these, surely.
We are dog friendly in here as well.
Yes.
Dog and family friendly, so we get lots of dogs decide to eat them.
Yeah.
The perfect dog chew.
Yeah. Well, we get a lot of glasses nicked, and I don't mind. You can still wear glasses. It's fine because the way I see it, you're getting a beer out, especially the ones that I was watching a review the other day, and I was like, they're reviewing my beer, and then I realised it was one of our glasses.
Wow.
They just bought a glass. They were reviewing somebody else's beer. It was on Instagram, and I was like, that's brilliant advertising.
I actually contemplated when we did the branded glass. I actually contemplated having stolen from Creative Juices Brewing Co.
Oh, that's an amazing idea.
And then I just thought, you know what? I'm just kind of daring.
You are. Yeah.
So,
That's a great idea.
You know,
Or
challenge.
property of.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
No, that's really. So what's the very quickly? Because we've been yakking for half an hour now. What? Yeah.
Oh, crumbs, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all right. It's all good.
That's what good beer does.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
it does.
Forget.
What's the story behind the cog and the drip?
Okay.
And then it's got a line through it, I noticed.
So there is a story behind it. It's in fact the full. I tell you what, I'll do this. Look. Quick.
It's getting naked.
There we go. So I can show you this. It's probably the easiest way of seeing it. 'Cause it's on the back of
Oh,
here.
come sure, there you go.
Oh, yes.
Look at that.
So we've got. If I do that. So the idea was that it's crepe juices, right? So the cog is consciously halfway between a cog and a bottle top.
Yep.
So the idea was that a cog represents creativity, the bottle top obviously represents beer.
Yeah.
The drip in the middle is again twofold. So you've got the sort of rainbow colours there, which are meant to be a nod to inclusivity,
Yeah.
but also a nod to creativity again.
Yeah.
And then the surround of the drip, you're saying the line, that
Yeah.
is a CJ for Creative Juices.
Yes,
Oh,
I just see it.
I didn't even see that.
How cool is that? That's
If I
so
turn it like
clever.
that,
We're going to tilt.
you can kind of see it a bit clearer maybe if you... Yeah,
Wow,
see
that's
it.
so clever.
That's actually a proper logo.
But
That makes
yeah,
no sense.
that is.
So that was the...
Well, now I'm never going to unsee that now.
It's funny
That's
how
amazing.
the CJ specifically, people go, oh, I can't see what you're talking about.
That-
And then suddenly it springs into view and they go, oh,
Did you
that's
start?
cool. I had so my past life was marketing,
Oh, right, cool shit.
and I had a whole group of designers and artists that I could tap into. So it was a case of sketching on the back of an envelope almost and kind of going, look, can we do something like that? And it kind of evolved from, we threw a few ideas around and it evolved into that.
That's very
So cool.
That's very cool.
Quite chuffed with that.
Wow.
I didn't
I love
notice the CJ at all. I didn't notice it at all. You said that.
This LB Co one is because our name's Lord's Brewing Co. And when we did the big logo, we've got the big logo on that one.
That one,
The massive one on that one.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
left hand heavy. So it doesn't always look right on stuff because it's leans like the writing's thicker on the left and the right.
Yeah.
So we've actually got various versions of our logo, and then we've brought out another brewing company called Sleeper Brew Co.
Okay, what's that?
So one of the problems with Lord's Brewing Company as a brand is that it started, well, it's not a problem, it's just what it is. It started its roots in traditional beer, in cask, in just doing that, and we're recognised for doing that and being a very good traditional brewery, and we do it well. And when we started doing Weird and Wonderful, they see the Lord's Brewing Co brand and they think, oh, this is going to be a traditional beer, and they'll stand off it as customers, which I get it because you're not expecting something mental off us. So when we've done like Band 1, which is a Smoky and the Bandit beer with, I'm a petrol head. Band 1 was the registration plate off the Bandit's car. We actually...
What a movie.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Lord's Brewing Co, we put the little round logo on and we didn't really do much else. And then what we've done is I've done a melted version of the logo for your beer, and then that's kind of stuck and we quite like that. We're going to keep that. but then we were like, we wanted to put the really strange beer out under Sleeper.
Right.
So that brand is, we can be more creative, we can be more crazy with the beers, and there's no risk to damaging what Lord started off as.
Okay.
So it's just to make a good example is Ossett Brewery, and then Jamie started Salt.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same scenario. That's all it is.
Yeah,
So
from traditional to a bit more.
yeah, or maybe one
That-
day.
That's actually quite contemporary, that.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
I get what you mean about that having a traditional element, but that's...
So this on here, bottle cap on the outside, barrel on the inside. That's a
Nice.
barrel.
Yeah, love it.
And then RLBCO and the King logo. I just wanted something with a crown. So I was like, yeah, I was like, Budweiser, screw you, Budweiser, I'm having that. So,
King of beers.
Yeah. Could you imagine
beers, right.
just blatantly stealing everybody's taglines? So yeah, so
I
that's
quite like it when craft beer brands flirt with copyright.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't got to look far with us. When you look at Baller, which is Cannonball Run beer.
Right.
And we've got the
Cannibal
Lamborghini.
Run, another great.
Yeah. We've got a Lamborghini Countach on it. We've got the Hal Needland's ambulance on it, and the Cessna in the background. And
Are you familiar with Vault City?
Yes.
Yes, the sour beers. Have you seen their latest release? They've done an Iron Brew one.
Oh, yes.
Blimey, have they got away with that? It's
Well,
just the packaging is incredible.
Do you know Exhale Brew, the Scottish guy? So he's done an Iron Brew Sour, which we've actually had here in the tap room,
Right.
which was really good.
Ooh.
I haven't tried the Vault City one.
Nah, I look at it,
But
the
I did see it
packaging's
the other day,
incredible.
yeah.
It's just like how Iron Brew must be sitting there thinking, do we go after them for that or not? Hopefully they won't, but it's...
part of
Well,
me,
I kind of think it's...
I know what you're going to say. I know exactly. Go on, say it.
I think it's actually quite clever just doing it because, you know, who was the guys who did the Snickers basically? I can't remember.
Was it S43?
Mars come after you and go, bang on, stop nicking our brand. You go, oh, sorry,
Yeah.
Carbob, you know, change it, but you get a great publicity off the back.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
We've got a little brewery near us. A guy called Ryan. You love him. He's such a lovely bloke. He does really out there beers called Beering, and he did a Star Bar beer and got in trouble for that one.
Yeah.
But everybody knows him for it, so it's great.
yeah, it does work. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good fun. I always said if Universal Studios came knocking on my door, it would be the best advert for me.
Yeah, quite. But I think some big corporates kind of play it quite well as well. They have a softly approach of, you know, please can you stop taking the mickey with the copyright?
Yeah.
And breweries then kind of go, okay, fine.
Yeah, well that's it. I kind of would like a cease and desist. Just saying, Universal,
If
take
Universal
a
are
look.
watching,
Yeah, if you watch it.
I'm up for that.
used to be one of my clients randomly.
No.
Give him a shout.
Got away with it.
It's awesome. Well, look, this has been fantastic. We're going to keep talking and drinking after this. So the tap room opens.
In what's that? 40 minutes.
40
20,
minutes.
40 minutes.
So we're going to have a few cheeky beers, and we'll see you later. So thank you, Ben. You're a gentleman.
No, thank you.
God bless you.
No, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
It's been a wonderful beer swap. I've really enjoyed this.
Well,
Good fun.
Yeah.
sit here and finish this one now. Never go back to this one.
Bless you. And
Cheers.
thank you, Paul, for joining us.
Thank you, Paul.
Paul has. I've been sleeping in his spare room, snoring. They thought they had a Harley Davidson being started in their garden, and it was actually me.
Yeah, it's true. It's
So,
true. We said to
so-
John, we had to get John here to come see Ben and see their setup. And yeah, thank you, Ben, for doing that with us. It's been great. So,
Been awesome.
Nice to come there.
So I hope you enjoyed this video. It's been a long one, but I think it's been a brilliant one. So please like and subscribe, and go and check Ben's website out. We'll put the link for his website below, and go and get some beer because it's really, really good. I've nearly finished this one, so I'm going to need another. So love you all. Have a wonderful week. Speak soon.